All right, so a lot of people have asked me, one, why do I even need a chainsaw? And you really only need one if you're going to cut firewood or if you've got big trees on your property that you're going to have to do a lot of pruning, or if you think you're going to have a lot of storm damage, which is really the only reason you need a chainsaw, except for one of the other reasons, and that is when you go to that barbecue or that cocktail party or you're standing around and somebody says, "Hey, do you have a chainsaw?" They're kind of questioning your tool hood. How many tools do you have? And if you have a chainsaw, you can look them dead straight in the eye and say, yeah, I've got a chainsaw. Matter of fact, I think my chain's sharper than yours, and I know my bar is bigger. So for no other reason than that, you should have a chainsaw. So if you have a chainsaw, you might as well learn how to sharpen the chainsaw chain. I'm going to make the case. This isn't for the everyday cutter, the guy that knows how to sharpen his chain all the time. This is for the guy like me who's using his chainsaw 2 to 3 times a year, or maybe 2 times every 3 years. And you probably only have two chains. And so on this chain, there's like 39 or 40 teeth. So it's going to take me 5 strokes. That's like 200 strokes total to sharpen this chainsaw chain. And for the amount of time it's going to take you to take one off and put it back on, since you don't do it that often and actually do it correctly, I can have this baby sharpened and ready to roll. And so I just do it every time. That way I know when I put it away, when I get it out, I'm going to have a sharp chain. So I'll show you how to do it. It's pretty simple and it's something anybody can do. Welcome back to Ways Learning, and what are we doing today? Well, today we're learning about chainsaws, and we're learning specifically about how to sharpen a chainsaw chain by yourself. And it's pretty simple, just requires a couple little hand tools and a little bit of knowledge of how you're supposed to sharpen the chain, and maybe 15 minutes and you can have a sharp chain ready to roll again without even actually taking it off your chainsaw. So pitter patter, let's get at her. One of the first things when working on a chainsaw is you want to put it on a vise. You simply put it where the bar is secure and it's fairly level. This isn't exactly level, but it's pretty close. And then you want to make sure that your chain is still able to move. After that, you're going to simply take this tool. It's basically a round file that's also in a guide. And this guide is made so when you set this on top, it stays at a 90-degree angle to your chainsaw chain. So on a chainsaw, the teeth are always going forward towards the front of the bar, and you always want to sharpen at the angle, no matter what side it is. You always want to go with the tip away from the engine or towards the tip of the bar so that you're cutting that. You never want to do where you're going the other way, even though it's maybe more convenient, because you only sharpen the blade when you go forward with it, when you're pushing, not when you're pulling. All right, so if you look right here, you can see on the tooth of the chain, if you look real close, you'll see a little line that runs kind of in an angle across that tooth. And that tells you exactly what line you want to take your file and run it to sharpen that tooth on the chain. So let's look at the side of the tooth right now, and you can kind of see here as I put the screwdriver up there, you can see how it's kind of concave, how it's kind of got a little curve to it, and that's what that file is going to also sharpen. It's going to sharpen that little curve to help give it more bite when it bites into the wood. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mark your tooth that you're going to start with the Sharpie, so that way when you get around, you know when you've gone all the way around and you've done and you've sharpened every tooth. Then you're just going to put the jig with the file in it, make sure it's horizontal at a 90-degree to the top of the bar, and you're just going to make straight strokes, and you want to go at the angle horizontally, but you want to go at the angle about 25 degrees, and it's going to show you on the tooth, it's going to show you what angle you want to be going at. Then going along that angle, making sure you're stroking away from the engine, you're just going to simply stroke it about 2 to 5 times, depending on how good you are and how sharp you can get that, and then just move to the next one. And then once you've sharpened all the teeth and gone around to the mark, then you're simply going to switch sides, and sharpen the teeth that are on the other side, going the other way away from the engine. And once you've done that, like I said, there's like 36 teeth or to 40 teeth on most chains, and so it doesn't take you very long to do, and you can save a lot of money and you can save a lot of time. So I marked it to know which one I started at, and it only took, if I counted doing both ways, there's 36 of them. So it's basically about 200 strokes, and they usually charge you 20 bucks to sharpen one of these. A new one's probably $50, and so you can sharpen this a whole bunch of times. This one's hardly even worn. It took me 10 minutes and it's ready to go again. Nice thing is you didn't have to remove the blade. This is pretty dirty, so I'll probably go ahead and take the bar off and take the chain off and clean it up and put it back in there. But pretty simple to do. It's something you can do. It's like I said, just if you learn a couple little tricks to do it correctly, then you can get it done right every time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.